As I began what I call my healing journey, or just the exploration of the inside, I started to rub up against this chronic state of inadequacy, which doesn't just mean that I didn't feel good enough, but also in ways that I felt too much, that I was too loud, too opinionated, too boisterous, too etc. I also felt so inadequate. I'm not smart enough. I'm not funny enough. I'm not etc. enough. There really wasn't any conversation specifically about, well, what do you do when,
Yeah.
I can know that this is important, but I don't feel it. How do I bridge that gap? And so that's when I really started to earnestly research and through my clinical work attempt to understand, what is this phenomenon? Why does it exist? And how can we begin to tend to it so that, like in my bio, we become more free, like so that it doesn't feel like
Mhm.
we're constantly being held back by our own material, our ways in which we think we cannot or we are too much of. My past has really been informed by an understanding that when we know ourselves and when we become more curious about how culture and self intersect, the more we can decide. We have more choice, we have more freedom, more possibility, more options. The worthiness wound is essentially a wound of belonging. It's telling us that there is something within us that does not belong.
Yeah.
And so healing it requires us to find belonging. And because it is an emotional wound born out of relationships, the way it is healed is through relationship. It is through
Mm.
finding ways that we belong and finding corrective relationships that can teach us how to be in our own belonging, as well as being in the belonging with relationships.